I went to Harvard Law School. I've got a lot of degrees and awards. I've won cases at the U.S. Supreme Court, and I've been in courtrooms representing clients, getting there early, sitting at defense counsel's table, where the judge will walk in and immediately get mad at me. The judge will look at me and say, hey, you get back out there in the hallway. I don't want any defendants sitting in my courtroom without their lawyer. And I have to stand up and say, well, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I am the lawyer. I didn't introduce myself. My name is Bryan Stevenson. I have to try to de-escalate this situation. And I was doing that recently. I was in a courtroom in the Midwest, and the judge started laughing, but it wasn't an apologetic laugh. And it kind of angered me. And the prosecutor started laughing. They thought it was so funny. And I was sitting there getting angry, and then I thought, oh no, Bryan, you can't get angry. You need to smile. You may need to laugh. And I felt that way. I thought that way because my client was not going to be able to leave that county. I was able to leave that county and never come back based on the way I was treated if I chose to do that. But my client was going to have to stay there. So when they were laughing, I smiled. And then I eventually chuckled. Client came in, we did the hearing. But I remember sitting in my car after that hearing thinking, wow, here I am, this middle-aged black man. I'm in my best suit. I actually argued the case at the Supreme Court that we were trying to implement. I've got all of these degrees and awards, and I'm still required to laugh at my own humiliation to do justice for my client. That's not right. That's not fair. And I'm getting old enough to know that when you have to constantly navigate presumptions of dangerousness and guilt because of your color, when you have to tell your children how to survive a police encounter, what to do and what not to do, how they can't do the things that their white friends can do because they're going to be burdened with this presumption, when you have to constantly navigate this world, it's exhausting. And I want something better. I want something better for everybody. And that's why the commitment to truth telling, the commitment to building institutions that help us understand the harms of history is such a priority.
You see, we see all his degrees, all his connection, and his reputation of going to Harvard Law School did not save him. So this is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 45. It reads, moreover, all of these curses shall come upon thee, and they shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha, Kwadash, and the Hannah Zelda, and the apostles of the Timishon who do well. A peace, blessing, and salutation to you, Akiamua, pushing this truth to the four winds of the heaven, and being at the forefront of this spiritual war, and to make sure Jerusalem will be established as a praise here on earth again, as in the days of old. So, that lawyer, his name is, let me see, Bryan Stevenson. He's a lawyer, very successful lawyer, according to what he was saying, man. And he still looked down upon, man. You see, and I can tell you, he tried so much to be like the oppressor. He speak like the oppressor. He think like the oppressor, only to find out he is not wanted. He is not appreciated. With all his degrees, man, he's still a nigger. See, that's why the scripture in Deuteronomy 28 and 45 is very powerful, man. I'll repeat again. It read, moreover, all of these curses shall come upon it. What curses are written in the book of Deuteronomy 28, starting at verse 15 all the way to 68. Not just to Deuteronomy 28, and all the other prophets wrote about the curses, man. Jeremiah wrote about the curses. Isaiah wrote about the curses. There's the other prophet. You see? And they overtake you. So this curse shall not only they shall pursue you, they shall overtake you. No matter what you are doing. You ain't gonna outsmart the curses. You ain't gonna outmaneuver the curses. You ain't gonna outland the curses, man. See? Till thou be destroyed. See? Because thou hearken not unto the voice of the royal harbor as exercise their power to keep his commandment and his statute which he commanded. And you see, what verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign, for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. See, that's another point there. Upon thy seed forever. So there is no such a thing as generational wealth for you black Latinos in Native America. See, there is no such a thing as breaking the cycle and ending the curse. I see a lot of niggers talking, they have that talking point. Breaking the curses, ending generational curses, and starting generational wealth. That's not possible, man. And I was watching the elder brother from DTA. He was going to generational wealth. We see examples, man. We see example, live example. And the concept is this: is the first generation you bust your ass, you make something for yourself, you pass it. When you die, you pass it to your children. Your children maintain it. So the first generation is you create wealth. The second generation maintain it. The third generation is they squander it. They waste it away. That's the cycle. There is no such a thing as a generation waste. And in this case, is you are as an Israelite, because we are living under the curses. If you are able to make some kind of wealth and pass it to your children up to your grandchildren, you are technically you are blessed compared to other Israelites, man. But Esau can do that. Esau can live. I was talking about this Edomite can do that. See, just consider the so-called the lost child dynasty. It have been here since I think the 15th century or the 16th century. Up until now, how many years? More than 400 years. But we are struggling even if we manage to create wealthy, we are struggling even if to pass it to our children. They just waste it, man. I have seen a lot of Israelites who they created some kind of material possession. You can't call it wealth because there is no Jake who is wealth, man. Let's be serious. Some kind of material possession, and when they leave it to their children, they waste it, man. Why? Because of the curses, man. Proverbs 13 and 22, a good man leave an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. You see? It was supposed to be like this. You leave inheritance to your children, your children leave it to your children, and so forth and so forth. See? But right now we can't do that. Why? Because we are living under the curses, man. And a lot of Jake, they realize that when they are up in the system, like this lawyer, man. He thought when he have all this degree, and I think he has the brain. He has the brain for it. If you have all these degrees, you're gonna be good. No, you can't be good. See, if you have all this degree and you go through discrimination, you're not appreciated, and you have the degree in your head, you will feel like shit, man. See, you will be messed up in the head. You will be vexed. That's why the scripture speak about it. When you have a lot of knowledge, you have to paraphrasing. You are vexed. See, this is a book of Haggai 1:6. It say, "You have sown much and I'm bringing little." See, this is some kind of sowing, man. See, all of this is degree, man. See, and I'm bringing little. You eat it, but you have not enough. You drink it, but you're not filled with the drink. You close, but there is no warm. And here's that earnest wage to put into a bag with holes. Why is a bag with holes? Because of the curses, man. The point is, you ain't gonna outmaneuver the curses, you ain't gonna outrun the curses, you ain't gonna find some kind of way to circumnavigate the curses. See, but we are thankful to the Most High Haba Hashem Yahushai. We are living in the grace period. You see, so the Most High have lessened the burden because we can pray to Yahushai. We have the name now. We can call on to the Most High Haba Hashem Yahushai. The Most High Haba Hashem Yahushai. He can have mercy on us, man. We can call on the name. We have the knowledge back. We know how to use the herb. We know how to eat healthy. We understand the black woman now. We know who is our enemy, and we have the true wisdom, knowing and understanding, man. So we have some kind of relief, but we are not in the kingdom yet, so to speak. The curses are still there. So in order for so instead of you looking for all these degrees and everything, man, you need to look up on the Royal Haba Hashem Yashai. The Royal Haba Hashem Yashai should be your priority. You see? So this is the book of John 8 and 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. See? This man is not free because he is looking into building institution for black men. He's like the Uma Johnson. We need to build our own school. We need to build our own community. We need to build our own institution. You see? Do you think you haven't done that? You see? And he is an educated man. He's supposed to know that. We have done that. We have been there. But that's not the way. The way is to understand the Yahweh Yahushai, man. See? That's why the scripture in John 8 and 32, it speaks, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. So with this, I say shalom. I hope you are edified. On the next